speaking of driving, traffic is backed up along the N4 towards the Lebombo border post in Komatipoort, that's in Mpumalanga. Travellers are trying by all means to get to their destinations before Christmas morning. Mweli Masilela is our reporter at that border post, joining us live now. Mweli, tell us about the flow of traffic and how it's perhaps changed from when you first arrived earlier today.
Good afternoon, Tambegile. What we are seeing now is a shot of the motorists and also pedestrians that are making their way into Mozambique from the South African side. And I can tell you that law enforcement officers are having their hands full here because we are now seeing members of the South African Defence Force being very active. And the only reason they are very active, Tambegile, is because there's always been those reports of some of people trying to cross between South Africa and Mozambique illegally, and that's what we've heard from the police. The Provincial Police Commissioner, Lieutenant General Semakaleng Manamela, was here, and also the Commissioner of the Border Management Authority, Mike, was also here early in the morning. So that's one element that they spoke about. But when you look into traffic, yes, it's very busy, but the situation is under control. We saw earlier that there was a blockage just closer to the Lebombo border post because many people are becoming impatient. They want to get home by all means necessary, ending up encroaching on oncoming traffic. But the police officers on the ground, as well as the traffic officers, are doing their best to ensure that the situation is normal and traffic is moving. Let me speak to now the Deputy Commissioner of the Border Management Authority. Her name is Jane Tupana. We can see that there's still a long queue, but traffic is moving. Does that mean that perhaps we are getting everything right at this stage?
Yeah, yes, you can see, as you said, Mweli, it's getting much, much better. It's far better than what you saw midday. You can see it's improving by the hour. So it's very much under control. We appreciate the cooperation that we are receiving here from all teams, from the Border Management Authorities, South African Police Services, from the Road Traffic Management, as well as from the South African National Defence Force, as you can see. So there's a great team and there's a great improvement, as you can see.
There's one issue of concern, though, to say that as much as you are doing your best on the South African side, when travelers get into Mozambique, especially South Africans, the processes there are very slow. Have you been able to communicate with your counterparts that side? What are they telling you?
Sure, that's being communicated all the time, and unfortunately, it's a process. It's a problem that had been with us for some time. Initially, it was persistent on the customs side, and SARS was engaging with them. But for today, as you can see, we're dealing with small vehicles largely now. On the Mozambican side, all the non-Mozambican vehicles have to be registered and they pay a fee. We're not saying it's a bad thing, but it could be managed better so that people don't then have to take more time getting out of their vehicles, having to get the vehicles registered. That is over and above the immigration process. So that has been communicated. We are hoping moving forward they will find a better way of managing the registration of vehicles as well.
Let's talk about the issue of people crossing illegally between South Africa and Mozambique. We are seeing that members of the South African Defence Force being very busy here. Actually, as we speak, just behind you, they are accompanying other people. I think they are taking them into immigration. If you can tell us more about what is happening.
What is happening is, what you can see is that people are taking chances. They thought there's still an opportunity for them to avoid going through the port. If maybe their passports are not in order, maybe they don't have passports, or maybe they have overstayed in the country beyond the time they were allowed when they came in. So people are finding creative ways of getting through the border, through the river into Mozambique. But little did they know that we have a plan in place. Our cooperation with the South African National Defence Force, they are working largely in the bush there. So they are able to intercept these people out there and still bring them so that they are processed through the ports. And as you can see, they are taking them to immigration. There's a great team cooperation that's going on here. So literally, we are trying to block all the illegal means that people are using to get out of the country and into the country.
All right, thank you very much for talking to us. Tambegile, that is Jane Tupana. She's the Deputy Commissioner of the Border Management Authority, and he's telling us about the current situation. But if you can, I've just seen a gentleman running away from the members of the South African Defence Force, Tambegile. So that is why I can tell you that at least authorities are trying to do their best, but as she was speaking about the people trying to cross illegally between Mozambique and South Africa, that's a situation that they are keeping a watchful eye on, and already we've seen, as we've been busy monitoring the situation, there some other people being taken into immigration because it's believed that they don't have the proper documentation.
Mweli Masilela, thank you very much for that update from that border post. Well, thousands of people, as you are just hearing from Mweli.